First and foremost, thank you. Good to see you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for sharing this exhibit with me and Eddie and Laura and the rest of the team. Thank you for sharing this exact moment with me, because this set of words is something that I've been working on for 7 years. And until I had this opportunity, because of the nature and theme of this show, I just never had a purpose or reason or opportunity to share it. So the talk that I'll be doing tonight, and for those, I think I know everyone here. Maybe if I don't know, I'm Rafael McMaster. I'm the founder of Indivisible Arts and Resin, but I think I know everyone here, which is, that in itself is a beautiful thing. The talk I'd like to give tonight, to share with you, is what's the point of art? What's the nature of love? Where do the two intersect? And how do we bring more of that into our daily lives? And my hope with this discussion is that when you leave here tonight, you're like, dang, I never really thought about it like that. Dang, the way I experience love is just kind of different. Okay, cool. And you know what? This is really accessible. I can start doing this like today and tonight, all right? So they say when you have an experience and it moves your heart in frustration or passion, then that could be the seeds of great dreams. And when I was 35, 7 years ago, I had a really cool job as a creative executive at an agency, moving on up. But I felt spiritually bankrupt inside. And it's one of those things where, as Dave Brubaker would say, you climb the ladder to the top of that ladder only to realize your ladder's on the wrong building. Right? That's how I felt, empty inside. And the thing that happened that hit me in the heart was I went to go volunteer at my daughter's elementary school for their art teacher, only to find out they don't have an art teacher at their school. So that's cool. Let me go show some art at the local Hermosa Gallery, type in Hermosa Beach Gallery, only to realize that the community that we're living and growing, raising our kids in, had 0 galleries. And the combination of those two things that make me say, hold up, this cannot be. Because part of the civic construct, like the butcher, the baker, the locksmith, gallery is part of what makes us as a community whole. And that's when I knew my calling. I need to do something about this. If not me, then who? And at the time, me and my wife went on a quick week-long vacation to Cuba. And I'm sitting there in Cuba going, is this really what I'm going to do? Am I really going to leave this career and this job behind so that I can go be an artist? I don't know. Let me really think, what's the point of art? What is the point of art? And I'm sitting there pondering this, and I'm shooting photography. Anybody who's been to Havana knows that you have those concrete walls with the waves crashing up on them, right? And I'm sitting, leaning, looking over, trying to get this rad shot of the water splashing up and coming near the camera. And I'm pondering this thought, what is the point of art? And I look over, and boom, a rogue wave hits, comes all the way up, blasts me back, destroys the Mark II, destroys the camera. And I'm like, okay, God, you have my attention, right? So I've asked this question of what is the point of art more times than anyone I know. And what I'm going to share with you is 5 of the best answers I've heard so far, having asked this question at show, after class, after show, after class, after artists, out of curiosity. Here we go, right? Now, to take a step back, and let's look at this through a Western lens and an Eastern lens. So through a Western lens, through the European eye, right? I am the artist, I am the Picasso, I am the Van Gogh, I have a unique perspective. How I see the world is so interesting. It's about me and my paintings and their value as an individual. But viewed through the Eastern or Latin or tribal lens, art is about reflecting the values of a culture, as a community, of a society. And at its root, art comes from Latin for artem, which means to bring together, to join, right? So you can already see these two very, very different concepts merging together in the estuary that is now our globalization. So what are we going to do about it? Which way are we going to go? And is it some mix or combination of the both? The turn of the century Russian author, and as one student said, a Christian anarchist, Leo Tolstoy, wrote in his maybe about 100-page document on what he believes the purpose of art is. He looked at historically, particularly Russian Orthodox, that it was the church that had the money to be able to support and fund big artistic experiences and pieces. And at that point, the purpose of art in that setting is to make you feel the awe and majesty of a higher power. Wow. And anybody who's been to maybe the Sistine Chapel, you look up and it's like beyond words. That's the awe, right? But as time had gone on, he was writing, that the artists had become so self-centered that they were trying to make something different, make something new. And he felt it was the true opportunity of the artist to be able to have the viewer experience and feel something. Even better, have the viewer experience the emotion that they're having or that they want them to have, right? I was in Venice 20 years ago, and for one of the museums it said, great art doesn't have to be clever, it just has to make you feel something, right? To feel that emotion, that expression, very purposefully, intentionally. And asking a lot of the students, like Master Kevin right here, what's up, buddy? Many of them will say, the majority of them will say that the purpose of art for them is to get to express themselves. Yeah. To get to express themselves, for a younger generation to express where they're coming, for the tapestry of all the young artists to come together to weave something that's very clearly their culture, their mission, their vision, their statement, their hopes, their dreams, into something that is beyond words, because if we have words for it, then I can write about it. But if there are no words for it, then that's what art is for. And we think about the power of this expression and the relief that they get. And any of our students will tell you, when they spend time creating, I'll be darned if about 40 minutes later they start to feel a lot better. Kevin, is that a true statement? That's a true statement. All right. Now, part of that relief comes from being in a flow state, right? We have our beta cognitive rational selves, logical selves. And if we can send that and elevate that into an alpha wavelength, there becomes this theta, alpha, theta wavelength of the dance, but then you can pierce through that to the gamma, to the flow state. And what's happening in that gamma flow state is something we call transient hypofrontality, which Victoria taught me about. And in transient hypofrontality, what's happening is your prefrontal cortex, where all that chatter and noises, those voices, in transient hypofrontality, the prefrontal cortex shuts down, and what's left is that flow state without that chatter. That's why we get such great relief from it. But where we'll go even one step further is we tell our students, or we share with our students, I know for myself that art is the language of the soul. Art is the language of the soul, and so when I'm doing art, my soul is present. That's it, that's all. And I know many, many times where in my life my soul is not present. Stuck in traffic trying to race here, doing my taxes, any sort of spreadsheet. Anytime I pick up a screen, I feel like a brrr, right? But I know it's a fact for me. Listen, if I can get surfing, yep, my soul will be present. Drumming and singing, yep, my soul is present. Singing as loud as I can in the shower, yeah, my soul is present. Laying on the ground, my dog licking me, my soul is present. But anytime I do any sort of creative art form, my soul is present. Okay. So then what is this art? What does it mean to do art? At first, when I was thinking about art, I was thinking, bless you, canvas on a wall, right? Maybe pottery, throw in some singing, right? Dance, filming, photography, so many different forms of art. But if we look at this from an energetic system, we'll call it feminine in Chinese, in Ayurvedic, this would be a masculine and a feminine, although it's not gender related, right? We'll say it the left and the right. Why don't we just say, my right energetic system is to hold space and experience and receive, right? And then my left, or masculine, would be to do and to create and to make. But this includes every thought form, every sentence, every movement. Okay, so if I've got these two wings of the same bird, then anytime I'm in do and create, it could be swimming. Anytime I'm do and create, and I do it with repetition and practice and focus, maybe a little creativity and even talent, it's an art form. So that art form could be painting, it could be teaching yoga, right? It could be strategy documents. It could be how I teach homework to my kids. It could be being stuck in traffic for 2 hours, and instead of me being stressed out and stressing everybody else in the car, we were playing music that I knew they would sing along to, and we were all singing along together. That's an art form. It's a conscious art form, right? So I ask you to possibly inquire within. What is it that you have for yourself that you're like, oh dang, I was doing this art form I didn't even know? Gardening, cooking, homework, emailing. Emailing can absolutely be done as an art form. The economy of words in the most potent way that's the most maximal with a little bit of creativity and care, intention. Yeah, okay. This leads me to believe that kind of anything can be done as an art form. Life can be done as a spiritual exercise. Life, the way I move and talk, okay. How fascinating. All right, so now let's take that and put it over here. We've covered art. Do you feel that maybe there's a chance we might have expanded how you perceive art? Yeah? Take it as a maybe. Okay. So then now let's move on to love. Now, we teach the creative wisdom tools here, right? Awareness, that I have voices and thoughts in my head, but I'm not them. I'm the soul observing them. Acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. If I feel upset, it's because I find some person, place, or thing unacceptable, and I can find peace by just having acceptance for reality as is. Okay. We teach about intention and having a vision, compassion, forgiveness, connection is defined to connection to each other, connection to my own soul, connection to a higher power of your own understanding. Really big, amazing concepts. But we don't really teach about love. I'd been so focused on those, this was an area that had yet to be really developed in my understanding until Eddie came to me. How many months ago would you say? 4 months ago. And he wanted to do this show, and I'm like, yes, this is awesome, this is perfect. And I'm like, oh crap, I gotta understand love better for myself. And obviously we all know many things about love, so I'm gonna tell you a couple definitions that I've grown to love, no pun intended, but that there are so many definitions of love that are absolutely perfect. So in the last 4 months, whatever spare time I have, whether it's walking Nika, pondering, meditating, probably my biggest thing is I'll go on vacation and I'll either sit in a pool or a tub of water or be on a paddleboard in the ocean so I can feel the rhythm and be around water as a transducer around me and just meditate at least for over 45 minutes up to 2 or 3 hours and just wait for information to come, because then I know I'm not coming from a cognitive rational ego state. It's something hopefully more pure. And here's where I got to with love. One is that love can be giving of oneself for someone else's spiritual growth. Giving of oneself for someone else's spiritual growth. Yeah, love. Yeah. But the other one that I really love, because this gave me a bit of a unified theory, a unified conception of love that brought together so many of my other conceptions of love, like I love my wife, I love my kids, those are kind of different, I love my dog, that's kind of different, I love sunsets, and I love nature, and I love the ocean, I love art, those are all so different. So here's where I landed. And I'm grateful that this is an original statement. That love is an energy, and love is the energy of experiencing beauty. Love is the energy of experiencing beauty, whether it's a sunset, whether it's a day snowboarding, whether it's this band, whether it's the simple way a friend curls their lip when they say something. That brings it on home for me. Now, I want us to go back into understanding this from a daily life common habit perspective. Thinking back to the things now you're now realizing, maybe I was brushing my teeth as an art form, I just didn't know. Maybe the way that I do my morning routine with the coffee, then the thing, with the dog, with the thing, oh my God, that's an art form. I can lean into this and make this even tighter. Is there room to experience that thing with beauty? Is there room to just flip the perspective just a little bit? Say, oh, yeah, I see the beauty in this. In fact, I'm experiencing the beauty of this. And if I can, let me shut off all the voices in my head so it's very clear and easy for me to feel and hear the energy centered in my heart, relocating, as Dave Brew would say, that 18-inch journey from the head down to the heart, where I'm so much more comfortable because there's not all that noise. What's amazing from this spot at Resin at nighttime, Mazzy hears a bunch of night. At nighttime here, you can hear the ocean. You can totally hear the ocean. But during the daytime, you can't hear the ocean. The ocean has not disappeared. It's all that other white noise that I barely even know is there. My mind is the same way. I start off the morning with some friends praying and meditating, and I'm just like, but by noon, I'm crazy again. So much noise, incoming texts and emails, an avalanche and maelstrom of chaos that is beyond my own control, that I cannot escape. How can I turn the volume down on that some? So that's what left is that energy of beauty that I can experience. And so this is what I propose to you as the opportunity to begin to acknowledge and see for yourself, or very many, you might be doing lots of art forms and you just didn't even know. Maybe even inquire even further, be like, here's a bunch of art forms also that I want to learn on top of it. Yeah, let's do them both. And while doing those, if I can silence this enough so that what's left is the energy in here, and I can also clearly experience the beauty of the present moment, then I will absolutely be experiencing love as the energy of beauty. That's it. Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for waiting around so long. Thank you for being here. I look around and I know like all of you, and all of you are effing awesome. So I'm really, really grateful. What a beautiful life to get to share together. And it's so cool that this little building locally, is ground zero for a movement that's just getting going, that you guys are now at the epicenter of as we walk this path together. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Represent. Much love, man. Thank you.